Guys, Farmer Bob here, man. Welcome back to my channel. Great to be back, guys, with another map making video. Great, man, guys. If this is the first time that you are on my channel, a warm welcome as always. Thank you so much for joining, for watching, for subscribing, and also a huge thank you to all my supporters on Patreon, PayPal, as well as on my YouTube channel and on my website, everywhere. I appreciate you guys, man. Thanks so much. Great, guys. So I've had a few guys struggling with the fields and the farmlands and this whole new concept of how fields work and only one field per farmland. That threw a huge spanner in the works. So I thought I'll make a complete video with a lot of tips and stuff, how to get around that fields and farmlands and things, how to get it sorted out. Now, in order for me to sort that out, let's go into my map. I've got a map running here in the back. This is my standard flat map just for the game, and I just use this for testing and everything. And in here, if I quickly show you, if we go open in the terrain info layer paint mode, let me just make this a little bit bigger for us to see. And then if I go in here, you'll see that we have farmlands here. You select that, and immediately you will see that I have 1, 2, 3 farmlands by the looks of it, because each farmland is in different colors. All right, so now let me just quickly take you through the whole process of how that farmland thing works. Right, guys, so to start fresh, let us take you back. Say you've got a map now and you want to put farmlands on it. Now, the very first thing you need to check is your map's map i3D. So let's go in there, and what I'll do is I'll bring this screen into view so you can see what I'm doing. So there's my flat map. I'm going to click on the map i3D of the map, open up and select, or right click on it and select edit with Notepad++. And then we're going to click anywhere in the screen, go Control and F to bring up the search. I just want to bring the search into view. It's on my second screen. And then we're going to go in here and search for farmland. Now, the first thing that you're going to find is your info layer. Now, this is the actual layer in your data folder, as you can see here in the data folder. And this info layer is the farmlands that you've painted in your map. So that's the one that is the layer with the farmlands in it. That's the image. It's a PNG file, and this is supposed to be a GRLE. But in my start map, I've left all the info layers, as you can see, as PNGs. And once you've done your map and you're finished, you can just change them to GRLEs, and the GDMs. The density maps goes GDM like that. All right, anyway, so I'm digressing. So if you hit farmland search once more, it will take you to the info layer section. Now this is the actual channels and setup of the info layer. So in here is all the farmlands that you can paint in your map. You'll see this one has got only 100 farmlands. So if you want to have more than 100 farmlands, remember these are not fields, but in FS22 you have one farmland and one field, and they are all one of each connected. So you can only have one field per farmland in FS25. So if you have more than 100 fields, in this case, you're going to have to add more farmlands, because then obviously you can't have more than 100 fields because you only have 100 farmlands. So easy peasy, you just Control C on that line. So you select on the border side, click the little thing, go Control C and hit Control V. And keep on hitting it for as many farmlands as you want to add. And then you're going to change the value and the farmland. So this one will be 101, and that one will be 101, and this one will be 102. Sorry, Control Z, messed up there. Make sure that you don't make mistakes in here, and accordingly. And then you go 103 and 103 like that. And let's just add 3 more. So we should now have 103 farmlands. So if I go in here in my map, I go into lands, This one will not have 103 because we haven't saved yet. It's still at 100. All right, so we close. Don't save the changes here. And then into our XML, or sorry, into our i3D, save this 100, 101, 102, 103. Just make sure. And if you've added like another 100 of them, they should now show in the map. All right, so that is how you get more farmlands. Or be able to have more than whatever the number is you have in there. So it's in your map i3D, and these are just the channels that you can paint, all right, or the amount of farmlands that you can paint in your map. All right, so now the next thing we're going to do is have a check here now quick. So we're going back to that, going here to farmlands, and now we should have here 103 in our farmlands listed that we can paint. All right, that's how simple it is to add more farmlands to your map if you've run out of farmlands. All right, so now the next thing I want to do is start from scratch on this map. So what I normally do is take farmland 1, so there, farmland 1, and I'm going to paint the entire map with that. So I'm going to go here to 4000 like that, and I'm going to go to square just to be sure, and I'm going to paint the whole map with that. All right, so now the whole map is painted with farmland 1. Now what that does, it now immediately has painted every pixel on the whole map into farmland 1, because if you don't have every single pixel added to one of these farmlands here, and the farmlands that are connected to your farmland.xml, we'll get to that a bit later on. So if you don't have all the pixels painted and painted into one of the farmlands, you're going to have an error, and your farmlands and your fields will not work. There will be problems. You will have an error that says not all pixels are painted to farmland, and that can cause havoc in different mods and things, and maybe your crops and your things, like if it's on a field, for instance, maybe you'll have problems with your lime and stuff like that, you know. So yeah, things, and your crops won't grow properly, or percentages will be out, yields will be out, you know, all kinds of weird things. Anyhow, what you do then now is select farmland 2, and I'm going to go smaller now. I don't want to go to 4000, and I'm going to just paint a few farmlands down just for the sake of the video. So I'm going to do that, and then let's just go a bit bigger here. 400 should be fine, you know, just for the example's sake. So I can just drop a few farmlands in here. So that's farmland 2, farmland 3. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you this way first. 3 and farmland 4. This will help a lot, obviously, if you have everything painted as farmland 1, because now what's going to happen is I don't have to worry about something that I haven't painted, because everything is painted already. Okay, so 5 farmlands we've got, all right? So farmland 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, so that's 5 enough. So let's go now over to adding fields, all right? So now if I go into gameplay, and I'm going to show you if you're adding fields to your map. I've only got one field here, there it is. But if you start from scratch, if you've got problems with your fields and it's not working correctly, or you converted fields from FS22 and it's not working correctly, do the following. Click here, delete the fields transform group, this whole thing, just delete it. Okay, now we're going to go into our base game, Farming Simulator 25, data, maps, and map US, and then we're going to open this up, the map. I'm just going to wait for it a second. It's going to take maybe 20 seconds to open up. So what we're going to do now is we're going to export the fields transform out and import it back into our map. That's the process we're going to do now. That will bring over everything you need, because the field transform has got a script on it, or would I say a attributes on it rather, not scripts. It's got attributes. Now it has got a script. It's got the field util script on it, and then the fields itself has got attributes on it. So we will show you now, or I will show you now in a second, how to export it properly and get it back into your map. Right, so here we are. Nice. So in gameplay, you'll find is your fields transform. Select that, the main transform. Go File, Export Selection. Go into your map. So we're going to go Mods. I'm in my test map. I just want to see where it is. Start map, empty flat map. That one there. And I'm just going to open the map directory like that, and I'm just going to call it fields. It doesn't really matter what you call it, because you're going to delete it after we've imported anyway. So just make sure you export to your map folder. That's where you want it. So just save it there. Right, close the in-game map, just like that. And then now we are back into our map, and we're going to go File. I just want to go out of this farmland mode. Go File, Import, and it should automatically take you to your last one. There it is, Fields, open up. And there you go. Drop that into, I'm going to just go down here for now. Drop that into my gameplay folder or transform group. And there it is back again. And now you'll see immediately you've got all the in-game fields. All right, so leave field 1, go down, zip, right to the bottom, select, hold shift and click. That will select everything up to your last click. Press delete, and there you have it now. Here we go. I just want to show you, if we open this up a little bit wider, and we go to not material editing, but user attributes. There's it, field util.onCreate. It's a script that runs on the field transform group. So you can't just create a transform and call it fields. It needs the script to make it a fields, so the game know that it's a field. All right, and then field 1, if you open field 1, it's got all these attributes in it, which is the angle, missions allowed, mission only grass. If you only want grass on that field, you select that tick. And this is for field missions. If you want the owners of these fields to give you missions, then you have to tick these. Name indicator always stays 1. That always stays 1. And the teleport index always stays 1. So that last 3, they are needed there, but you leave them alone. You can play around with those. And obviously field angle is what angle do you want your field to be. So it can be 0, 45, 90, 60, whatever, 120, whatever you want to have it. In fact, this only goes up to 180. Yeah. It's from 0 to 180 because the direction is 2 coordinates already. It's 2 angles already in one. Okay, anyway, so now field 1. Now I'm going to show you how to create the fields. So first of all, we want to see where's our farmlands. So I'm going to make this up a little bit bigger again. Environment, farmlands. So here is farmland. Farmland 1 is there, and I've already got that field there. But before we carry on, I forgot to remove the old field. This is a field now. It's field ground, so you don't want to leave that there. So in order to get rid of that, you will go into this here, terrain foliage paint mode. And then in the foliage layer paint, you will go here by foliage layer. And right on the top, terrain detail. And I want to make my brush much smaller, like that. And all you do is make sure your right button is subtract, and then you just remove that there. All right, that is the way that you paint field ground on your map. But we do it differently these days. If you want terrain detail and you want field ground cultivated, you can paint it down like that, and right mouse button will remove it again. Okay, so that is just the old way of doing it, but I'm going to show you the better way nowadays. You don't have to do anything of painting field ground anymore. I'm going to show you how to do it easily in this whole process now. Okay, so we want to go back to Farmlands, and once again I'm going to use my Alt button, and with my right mouse button I can zoom in and out if I move my mouse. And this nav speed here is 28. I'm going to push that up to about 60, I think. It will cause you to zoom and work much faster. The left mouse button pans your window. That is very nice to use. And your middle mouse button moves the screen for you. If you hold still, you keep the Alt in, guys, and then you just use your mouse buttons. All right, so field 1. So let us know, we now want to just see which is Farmland 1. So Control R will tell you that this is Farmland 1 there. Control R will tell you this is Farmland 4. The white one is the one that you are currently selected on. So Farmland 4. So Farmland 1, Control R, if I go there, so I can paint my field anywhere in the white for Farmland 1. So now, what I want to do is I'm going to go to Scripts, Shared Scripts, Map, Farm Fields, Field Toolkit. All right, so there you go. Now the very first thing you want to do is, if you have a map and it's full of field like I had that field there, and you want to just redo all your fields over it, do not remove your field ground. Leave the field ground, because that will give you borders to work on to actually make fields, or just put the fields over it, you know, the field little polygon points. But if you got a new map and you're going to work like I do now, then that is going to be the way you're going to do it. All right, so there you go. I've got the whole white area here to paint a farmland in. Sorry, not that area, this area. Control R, there. That area for a field. So I'm going to go closer there and make sure that I'm like I'm going to put that pink thing like at the bottom of the screen, so I know I can draw my field in there. So now, in order to drop the fields, we want to toggle this one. This one shows you your field polygon points. That is it there. All right, field 1. And strange enough, I did import. I wonder if this was from Map US. It's possible. All right, it is possible. So your field 1 might look the same as mine, because it must have been from Map US, you know. So Control B, drop this point where you're going to be now. You're going to drop that in the center of the field that you're going to want to paint. All right, so I'm going to do that, and then open your polygon points, delete all the polygon points except for point 1. All right, now just bear with me, guys. It will all make sense a bit later on. The reason I've dropped field 1 here is this already comes with your name indicator, as well as your what do you call that thing? Let me just see. Fields. I just want to make sure that I've got the right thing here. I just want to import that fields again. Because for some reason now, I've got the feeling, okay, let's just import again, because I know, yeah, it is the same thing, name indicator, note, okay, all right, I just want to make sure I've got, because for some reason, I was doubting my field here, so it's definitely Map US's fields that look like that. All right, so field 1, you drop it there, and then your name indicator and your teleport node all are in the middle of your field, and that is where you want it. All right. So now I'm going to take point 1 and I'm going to make my field's perimeter. Now you can envisage now you've got roads going on the map and you've got all kinds of stuff here, trees and whatever, and you want to make a field in the middle of that. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I'm going to select point 1, Control B, and in my mind I'm just going to go around and drop my borders for my field by not leaving my left mouse button. Just keep that hold it in and keep it in, and just hit the control where you want to go, and simply just run around the edges of where you want to create your field. If it's a square field, you will only have 4 little polygon points and that type of thing, but I'm going to just make a little field like that now. All right, so there you go. Do not worry about the points that are now called point 1. They will all be renamed later on. All right, so that's field 1 there. Now I'm going to go find farmland 2. All right, and you don't have to worry about the order. Just for fun, I'm going to see where my farmland 2 is. Just going to show you. This is farmland 4 if I remember. Control Z. I just want to... What have I done now? Control Z. I just want to quickly... what has happened now? Oh my word. Alright, I'm just going to leave point 1 now, like there, and find that last one, which is that one, and make it there. I've done something stupid now, but anyway. Alright, so now I want to have a look at my farmlands again. So in order to do that, I need to go here to farmlands and Control R. Can I not select my farmland? Yes, I can. I must just, for some reason, it didn't want to Control R. So this is farmland 4. Now I'm going to put field 2, and you can already see I've got a problem there. You cannot have your field go over 2 farmlands, so that is going to cause an error. So I want to fix that quick. Okay, and unfortunately you cannot select these little nodes. You have to click them here, Control B, and then just go around like that. I just want to make sure that I'm not in the other farmland. I could have just painted, now that I think of it, I could have just painted, repainted that farmland a little bit. Alright, so back to there. That's farmland 4. So now I'm going to paint field 2 into farmland 4. I'm going to show you the game, the editor will fix it, or the toolkit will fix it for you. Alright, so now, why did I close it? You don't need to close it or select the fields. I'm just going to go to add field, create a field, and it will add me a nice field here. Go open the polygon points, delete all of them except point 1. Go grab field 2, and now I just want to go back to farmland and grab field 2, Control B. I want to just see that is the center. Okay, it's very dangerous doing this way, but anyway, I just wanted to see if I'm like in the center of the farmland. Yeah, I am. Alright, so this is just an example, guys. So in normal map making, you'll first do your roads, leave the fields work for later, so you can see where you're going to have your fields, you know. So I'm just sort of doing this for the example. Great. Go close that. Select point 1 once again. Control B. Drop it, and then hit Control. And I'm going to just do... just a funny shape field here just for fun, like that, and then click here, make sure we're still in the farmland. That is good. All right, now this is where I'm going to show you now how we can fix the node, the polygon points as well as paint the farmlands automatically. But if you already have your farmlands painted and you want to just add fields, you would do the following. You select field 1, for instance, and you will say repaint selected field to farmland if it's one field. If you've got a new map and you've done all your fields, you would repaint all fields to farmland, and then you're going to have to come back and paint all the farmlands the way you want it again. But field 1 and farmland 1 will always be connected, all right, because the rest will just create farmlands for you as you go along. So in order, to be honest, you don't really need to create farmlands first. If you're going to do just fields later on, you can just repaint fields to farmland and it will create all that farmlands for you, but they will be exactly the same sizes as your fields. So you're going to have to come in afterwards. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So if I say now, repaint all fields to farmlands, it's going to remove all my farmlands that I've added. Look at this now. Sorry, it's going to add this 2 to the 2 existing farmlands. So if I now, I think it's done that. Let's just open the log file. Just get that out of the way. Where's my console? I don't see my console. There it is. A repainted field 1 to farmland ID 1 and field 2 to farmland ID 2. So it has done that. Wonderful. So if I now open my farmlands, you'll see there, it's painted that field onto my farmlands that's existing there. All right, so that is the right way to do it. Once you've done all your fields, you do that. Or if you've added a single field, you can use that single field to paint to farmlands. All right, so once you've done all your fields now, I'm going to show you, you come here to the top. Let me just go out of farmland info layer thingamabob. And you're going to say here, align all polygons to terrain. That's the first step that you want to do, right? And then the next one is rename all polygon points, all right? And then open your console to make sure that it's actually done that. Okay, it says renamed all for field 1 and for field 2. So if I now open my field 1, you'll see it's done it for me. It created all the polygon points and renamed them nicely for me. So I didn't need to go and say 0.1, 0.2, 0.3 or whatever. You just hit control and create as many polygon points as you want. Good, so now that we've got the fields created and we have the farmland, the very next thing you want to do is go here to repaint the fields. And I'm just going to say all fields. So once again, if you've just added one field to your map, you will select that field and you go repaint selected field. All right. Did I now repaint the fields? Let me see. Repainted field 1 and field 2. That's very nice. Rename polygon points, repaint field, farmland, clear field, validate. All right. So lastly, what you want to do is validate all fields. All right. And in this validation here, very important, you must not have one error there. If you have an error, normally what the guys do, especially when you've converted a map, these little red things around, it's like a boundary around this thing. These red things between the fields must not touch one another. Then otherwise you're going to have the errors. Yeah, this farmland is touching this node, polygon point or whatever, stuff like that, you know. So when you create fields, keep these red borders away from one another and you will be perfectly fine. Never have a problem with that. And don't paint one field over two farmlands as I have done there. All right. So it's best to first do your fields and then do your farmland. So then you can repaint to farmland, first paint all white and repaint all to farmlands, and then just fill in all the farmlands after that you want. Just farmlands with no fields, that's fine. You can have farmlands with no fields, as in my example map here. You'll see that I have a few more farmlands than fields, so it doesn't really matter. Great. And then guys, if I now toggle the field notes, you'll see that I've got my field notes and 2 fields and 5 farmlands. So now I can save my map. And remember now we've got 5 farmlands, all right? So I'm going to save my map. Now we're going to go over to the XML. And without the XML, you cannot have a working farmland. That is impossible. The XML calls the farmlands for the game. So if you don't have the XML set up correctly, you will have a problem. All right, so in here, in our map, in config, we have our farmlands.xml. You want to reload it? Yeah, you can reload it. That was just my R3D. And here you can see I had 3 farmlands. So I'm going to now take this little thingamajig, take it out there, and drop it here by 6. I'm just disabling the rest. There they are. And you can copy this from any in-game map. This is from the map US. It's already set up for you. You just copy the whole farmlands section. If you select there, you copy that farmland section and overwrite your farmland section. And then you have all the nice needed stuff. I can just delete that like that. Make a default, farmland ID. So if I now add 1 farmland to my map, I have to add 1 farmland here to the XML, because otherwise that farmland is going to cause an error in the game and your map might not open. All kinds of things saying your farmland is causing an error or whatever, Great. So let us quickly run into the game and have a check now at our fields and farmlands. We should have 5 farmlands and 2 fields in the game, setting up. And I'm going to now show you how to actually get the field ground onto that farmland. And that is very simple. Just want to quickly let the game start up and work. So let's give it a second to get its ducks in a row. There you go. Open it up. And this is Farmer Bob's start map. This one here, that's the 2x map. And deselect, and I'm just going to give me that boy. Let's do the store deliveries as well, and just open that up to see if we have any errors related to farmland. That is now stuff that I've added to the map and other previous videos. that's still there in the XMLs for placeables. That's causing havoc, So let's hope that doesn't give any issues. But anyway, so let's just wait for it to load. It should be done in about a second or 2. There it is. Start, confirm. And now, if I now go out, you'll immediately see there it is, 2 farmlands. Okay. Now, I've actually made a quick mistake, an honest mistake. So I just want to quickly exit this game here and just re-enter. We must go in as start from scratch mode. There you go. Say no, and then here by new farmer we go to start from scratch. That's very important. So what's going to happen now is I won't be able to let me just deselect, open that up and start. What happens if you start from scratch, all your default farm property is not owned by you then. It's owned now by Grandpa, and you are not Grandpa's son-in-law, basically, or Grandpa's grandchild, So, so you won't be owner of the property, I think, if I'm correct. And we should now have crops on this. So if we now, you see what I'm saying? This is farmland 1, farmland 4, and field farmland 2. Why have I got farmland 2 and farmland 4? Oh, and this should be farmland 5 and farmland 3. So it's taken farmland 2 when I painted all fields to farmland. It's taken my farmland 2 here and added that to the field. That is very interesting. It should not have done that. So it might be best to just manually paint. Don't paint all your fields to farmland. Just manually paint them if you've added only 2. I haven't done the whole map, you know, because otherwise, yeah, you're going to end up with that. Okay, so nevertheless, it says buy, which is good. And it says buy, which is good, which means we don't own that. Good. And then farmland 1, we can buy that too. All right, so this means now that we now should have crops on it. So if I visit it, it does have crop on it. It is probably with it. It says harvested. What is this? Fertilized, harvest barley. But it looks like it's bad. Anyway, let's see the top one. We should have stuff on there. If I visit that, sorghum. Okay, wonderful. So now what I do is I'm going to save the game just like this and create us a save game, which is good. And now we can go out of the game, quit that, and then we're going to grab a few files. Now the very first thing, if your map is not set up correctly on your field ground, this is going to cause a problem, because it's not going to work first of all. So what you want to do is quickly check your field ground setup. It must say data, not the dollar stuff. If it says dollar data or whatever map US, then your field ground is not correctly set up. It must point to your data folder, like data / So if you have a directory structure of maps, map US, whatever, it must say here maps, map US, data, whatever. Whatever your directory structure is, mine is just map and then data, and then here is my field ground. Info, my field ground is plow level, roller level, spray level, stubble shredded, and all that other stuff is in here. So these 6 files need to be in there, in that. So what you're going to do now is head over to where your saved games are. So now see why I can't click on mods for some reason. Got this thing since I installed WinZip. Not WinZip, WinRAR. I think it's since I installed that sometimes my Explorer sort of crashes on a tab. Or maybe it's just a Windows bug. I don't know if you guys got the same thing. But anyway, nevertheless, we want to go here to save game 1. Just check here at career save game. Empty flat map. So it is the correct one. So you know that you are in the correct save game. And then what you want to do, you want to copy all the density files, all the ones that says GDM. So just control click on all of them. Just the density files, and then also all the info layers. All right, so all the ones that says GRLE. So those 2 file types you want to copy. Control C, go into your map folder, and do make a backup of your map. Just before you do this, just back up your entire map folder into a different directory, just in case there's something wrong and something is not right. Then you can know that you have saved yourself some headaches, you know. Control V for Victor, replace all the files in there, and lo and behold, when I open my map now, 10:07, I will have field ground set up. I will have a crop in the thing, and if I'm not happy with the crop, you can actually use easy dev controls and plant a crop instantly on all your fields or one field at a time, all of that. And once you've done a saved game and done this, copied all these files over, you will find that you will have that all done for you. Look at that. See, field ground is done. There's stubble shredded at the bottom, and on this one here, just come in here. What was in here? Sorghum was in here. See, all nicely done for you. Already sorted out, ready to be done. So I don't have to come and fiddle with a little bit of painting and not go over the edge and whatever. It's all done for you in game. Right. So now, lastly, the field ground, just to show you quick, if your field ground wasn't set up correctly, make sure from your map.xml, so in there, Where's my map.xml? I think for that one it's in here. There it is. Find the field ground line. There it is. It must call the one that's in your map folder. If you don't have a field ground.xml in your map folder, give it a directory here in your config file and put fieldground.xml in there and go into the in-game folders here. Farming Simulator 25 data. I'm going to show you now. Be careful, there are two types of field ground. You must copy the correct one. So you go maps. Do not use this one that's in here. Let me just see where it is. Field ground, not this one, because this one, if you open it, it's different. This is not the field ground, guys. Do not copy that one. Use the one that is in your any of the map folders. So if you open, for instance, map AS, and in config there will be a field ground in here. You see they are different. So this is the field ground you want, and then you just copy this file over into your config folder and rewrite these directory structures so that it goes to your data folder. Alright, so just fix it up and save it, and your field ground will be working correctly. That will also fix your lime and also your what do you call that things, the fertilizer. If your fertilizer wasn't showing up correctly, 10:1, that will fix your fertilizer setup as well, because that's your spray levels, is your fertilizer. Good, great guys. So yeah, that in a nutshell is how to do farmlands and fields easily and quickly, and I hope it's been insightful. I hope it helped someone out there a little bit. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a fantastic week. I'll catch you on the next one. Cheers.